Good morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee, along with my moderator, John North, co-moderator, John Becker with you, and Go Vols. We're right in the middle of a national championship run for the baseball team, and so the timing for this show is perfect. We're going to focus, John, on something that we've described as revolutionary in college sports.
It's extraordinary. It started, and we sort of had a hint of what was to come when NIL sort of broke, and now we've had a major announcement regarding a settlement of some antitrust stuff. It's going to change college athletics like this. It's going to turn it upside down.
We're going to dig into all of that again, money in college sports. To help us break it down, our guest, Hunter Baddour, who is from Spyre Sports. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, John.
You are part of a collective, and we'll get into the definition of that in moments. Let me introduce our panel. Susan Richardson-Williams is a Republican, and she runs her own PR firm. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, John.
And our old friend Ramsey Cohen, a Democrat, back with us once again.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you with us, Ramsey. All right, Hunter, let's talk first about, before we get into what a collective is, just talk about the revolution we have seen in the last 2 to 3 years in college athletics, going from no pay to options for athletes.
Yeah, I think I'll start with, Spyre Sports and kind of our beginning. Spyre Sports was formed a year before NIL was a thing, and it was a true sports marketing agency, and the plan was to represent players. We had a small book of business to start, and that was the plan, and I'll get back to why that's relevant. But as we got into the spring and late spring of 2021, my business partner James Clausen and I, we started following this upcoming Supreme Court case. And the winds were clearly blowing where this was going to change college athletics forever, because to some degree, student athletes were going to have the chance to monetize their NIL, their name, image, and likeness. And so as a company, we made the decision to pivot and go all in on NIL, which we thought would be a better opportunity for our business. And also the fact that we both went to Tennessee, we thought it could be a great opportunity for Tennessee, and specifically, football that had fallen on some hard times. And so the first thing we did is we started reaching out to Tennessee's largest donors and kind of explained to them our plan and why we believed NIL could be a real fire starter for all the programs. And to get their support early on was critical. And from that point, we began traveling around, literally the country. As you all know, Vol Nation is everywhere, and explaining to folks exactly what NIL is and how they can participate and be involved. And we had so many people that said, look, I'm not in a position to write a big check, but I want to do something. I want to be involved in some level. And we created what I'm probably most proud of, the Volunteer Club. And what's great about the Volunteer Club is it's for everybody. It's a subscription-based model where at whatever level you're comfortable with, $25 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month, you can contribute, which allows us to do deals with Tennessee student athletes. And in exchange for that, there's some different perks. Probably the biggest one is access to our events and our tailgates, but it's, while this is about being competitive, the Volunteer Club is also about having fun and the Tennessee family, and being part of a community to where when you come to these events with your children, you're around like-minded ball fans that know, at whatever level they're doing their part to support Tennessee athletics, and also get a chance to meet the baseball players or the basketball players or some of these student athletes in person. But going back to the importance of being a true sports marketing firm, early on, we really couldn't have much contact with the athletic department. And I think it gave the athletic department, and in particular Danny White, some confidence that he had, a true sports marketing firm working on their behalf that, had experience working with players specifically on the marketing and brand side of things.
You do not work for the university, but it is a close connection. You talk to the university often, and university leaders, athletic director Danny White.
Right, correct. And, but in the beginning, we weren't able to really do that. We were kind of on an island, and so, we're grateful that the athletic department had that trust in us to, go out and try to get this thing, started. Without being able to have a whole lot of communication.
A year ago, Hunter, I think people would have said, man, those guys at Spyre are really aggressive. They are not out front on this. They're 30 miles ahead of everybody. You flash forward to a year, and you guys to me, it looks like you're sitting in the catbird seat. It looks like you guys sort of knew how this was all going to break all along. I don't know if you share that sort of observation or not, but it's like, wow, everybody caught up to us, or the world caught up to us.
Well, the advantage we had, and this is the truth, in the beginning, across the country, the vast majority of athletic directors and coaches, they approached NIL one of two ways. One, they either dismissed it, like it's really not going to be a thing, or they fought it. And there are still some coaches and athletic directors that are fighting it today. But that was not the case with our leadership. I mean, they viewed this as an opportunity. You know, chaos creates opportunities, as some people say, and really believed that, you know, this could help our programs. And so having that belief and having everybody on the same page, as well as the fans and the donors, allowed us to maybe get out ahead of this a little bit quicker than our competitors.
We're going to take a quick break and get to Susan and Ramsey's questions for Hunter right after this. Again, we're talking college athletics and money. We'll be back right after this on this Sunday morning.